Welcome to this video. I'm going to share some messages that I've been receiving and a shift I experienced yesterday, which is really about remembrance. And I was guided to come on and share these messages quite quickly. And so I guess more people out there are experiencing similar things or are experiencing things that are related to this energy that I was shown, and also what I experienced. And it has been leading up to it for a while, though what I experienced yesterday was seemingly just out of nowhere, not in a meditation or anything, just suddenly hit me, which is sometimes tend to do. And it was a beautiful experience of a remembrance. And what I kept hearing, the message that was coming with it all the time, was it has started. And what I was shown is what I've been shown, because I sit down every morning with one of my guides and I get messages and being shown specific things with the energetic sort of structure, or what's happening energetically. And I've been told to not share specifics of it yet, because it was not time. Because everything happens sort of energetically before it manifests in the physical. So this was more of a preparation for seeing what was sort of being or happening energetically that will now start happening in the physical. And that's those things that I have been showing me is what they now said that it has started. What was shown to me is that there are a lot of people that are aware of what is going on, that are, I really don't like to use labels, but awakened people, way showers, all these labels that we put on it, can have had very sudden activations and remembrances now over the last days, and will be over the coming days, because we're stepping into more of why we are here. What is really, really important now is to open up energetically, to really consciously start bringing in our higher self. And many of us have been doing this for a while, but now even more so, to really anchor the higher self in on a cellular level in our bodies. That's what I'm being shown. And also opening to the earth and to the connection with the nature, with the animals, with the plants, and with the inner earth and the ground, because our body is connected to the earth, to the other animals, and our light, our consciousness that we are holding in our bodies is what is giving life to this animal that is our bodies, which is a part of the earth. So we really have now to bring both aspects in and start to understand, and consciously bring awareness to that we have to work with both and understand and get a more, like, really practice to anchor in both aspects. Because there has often been either a focus on grounding in and the earth, or a focus on just bringing things in and our consciousness and our light. But it's really the combination of those two that are so important, which is why also that I've been talking about in a previous video, the cellular changes that are happening, and like there's so many aspects that are starting to come together. So really bringing awareness to sort of co-creating between the body and between the consciousness that is our light. And from that point, we can do so much. From that point, we can beam our lights out, which is what we are here to do, because that is bringing the shift. If we keep going out of our bodies or just staying in that light and not bringing it into the body, we are not able to do all that we are in, all the potential that we are here to do and to hold, because we have to bring that light into the body, and we have to clear the body as much as we can. This is not something we're digging down and into to get. Whenever we are bringing the light into our bodies, there will be things that are coming up until there no longer are things that are coming up. And when things are coming up, we feel them, we look at them, we become aware of the beliefs. We change what needs to be changed from a point of acceptance. And that makes us be able to hold more of this light in our bodies. Why we're doing this is because then we can beam more light out, which is the higher frequency, which is what is helping to ground a higher frequency on the earth, in the physical. We are also bringing light and higher frequencies up from the inner earth, which we are also bringing out and sort of anchoring into the collective and the physical world that we are in. So the importance now to really have awareness and work with both aspects and bringing it in, because we have, we're talking so much about polarity and duality now, and the neutral point in between, and we're seeing the separation, the divide in the collective, in opinions, in behaviors, in everything going on the world stage. And this polarity has been so brought to my awareness in the messages I've been receiving now, that we are also been in this polarity between our light, our consciousness, our origin, and our physical body. And we are going to merge these two, because the physical body is shifting. This is the shift. This is the ascension, or the shift in consciousness, because we are actually shifting in the physical body, and we are waking up to the potentials and the possibilities that lies within the physical body when it's being activated with more of our own light, which is why it's so important to really ground it into the body, not only going out, because now things have shifted enough for us to be able to hold more light in our body, and we are safe to embody more. That is so important to remember. Going forward now from this point in the collective, things looks quite intense, from what I've been seeing and what I've been receiving. The one and most important thing that they are bringing to my awareness is this combination, or this anchoring and grounding into the body and embodiment, and hold that as much as we can as we walk forward, trying when we can to pull our own perceptions, our own opinions. We can have opinions. I'm not saying that we are not going to have opinions. We're going and speak our truths, because that's really important. But we are not going to put that onto others. We are not putting our reality on other people, just putting it on them. even though it might come from a really good intention. Because we have to honor others' sovereignty, and we have to honor our own sovereignty. Now, when we start walking in full remembrance, in our light, and we keep weeding out things that no longer resonates in our bodies with beliefs, physical things that might appear, behaviors, all these things that we are continuously doing. Bringing our awareness back to where we walk and to this light we are beaming out. That is a very different mindset and perspective than walking around trying to change other people, or feeling the burden of that, oh my goodness, it's my responsibility together with others to shift this or to change this. But to actually know how much you're doing just holding that light in your body and walk and beaming that out. The more we are remembering who we are, the more remembrance that are coming in, the more we are anchoring this light in our bodies and into ourselves, and this all starts shifting. We will have a very different, grounded, empowered, sovereign sort of radiation around us. That is bringing a lot of the shift. If we keep having our own ideas, our own perspectives, which we know can shift, that has happened before for most of us, and we go out in the world projecting our own perspectives, our own beliefs, no matter how sure we are about this being the truth and this being the right thing, and honoring that it's our own truth in the moment, and it might be for many moments to come. But if we try to change someone from, even though it's from a good intention, even though it's from a heart wide open of love, we're not honoring their sovereignty. That is so, so important going forward. The change and the shift is happening by us beaming this light out and speaking our truth from a place of groundedness in the body, of being in the body, of walking in this light in our own field without pushing anyone away and without putting our perspective onto their field and their being. What I remembered yesterday, or this suddenly hit me, and I have had several experiences like this over the last months, where it's like a lightning just hits in my crown, and it's like bam, and I have a remembrance in my body, rather than the sudden going out of body and seeing something and remembering in that way. It's like a memory, it's like a sudden activation in the body, and it's like seeing everything from really within the body and feeling the remembrance in the body. I've experienced this several times with past parallel lives and different aspects of me over the last months. This that I experienced yesterday was from I was a toddler, and in the moment that this suddenly hit me, I was just bawling my eyes out, because it was a sudden remembrance of how I was aware of this as a toddler, and how I walked in my light, and with the knowing and full understanding of this, and walking to places where things sort of were happening, like in kindergarten, for example, and just standing there, consciously beaming out the light. And it gave so much explanation to some things that I was doing as a child that I haven't sort of been able to make sense of. But it was, I saw from at the same time as this sort of hit me, and it was just like like being hit with a lightning, and you just see the sparkles and the memories in the body, and you see like all of these situations at the same time. It was, how can I explain this? It's the embodiment of the higher self. It is the knowing of what you're doing, which we are programmed out of, or have been programmed out of, and that we now are remembering. So as we are remembering this and we're starting to practice this, these types of things, it can be experiences, what I've said. The more the cellular structure is changing, the more remembrance we will have of parallel aspects of what we have experienced or done earlier in our lives, and also what we term as past lives. And these are integrating, and that's the important thing. It's not something we're just like experiencing sort of for fun, or just like, oh, I had this experience, and then we forget about it and we go about our days as normal. It is a remembrance that is grounding into the physical body, because this is something we are bringing into in the way we are moving forward now, in the way we will be walking the earth, which is very different than the way it has been. I really hope this makes sense. If not, ask me. I'm trying to navigate what they're telling me to share now, and make it practical and tangible. So as we see the divide and the separation in the collective, as we see that things are getting more intense going forward, instead of being brought into the separation, being brought into the distraction of everything going on, trying to come back to our own field, try to really breathe into the body, ground in and bring in the light, really merge these two aspects of who we are. And think of this, just see that light beaming out of you, rather than in a frequency of, because that's the thing, right? That it often comes from a frequency of despair or fear if you're trying to change something. Like, oh, this just can't happen, and I'm so afraid of you. If you do this, or if you could just understand this, things would be so much better for you. I know this is it's from a good intention. But if we do it from that space, we're not honoring their sovereignty. We are not honoring their own process. And we are actually perpetuating the frequency of fear and despair, which is what we are clearing. So these types of remembrances might be very suddenly ignited in many of you as you walk and move forward. I've been shown things happening almost like a domino effect going forward. And it's really the way we can help and assist the best is to really stay in our own lane. It is to stay in our sovereign field and it is to keep the eye on what is right in the present moment, and to beam that frequency out. We are not responsible of what others are doing, but we are responsible of how we are projecting or not projecting, because a projection is a big one now. So it's really important to start watching ourselves, or continue watching ourselves, better said, on when we are doing that, because that is very often coming from a frequency that is a lower vibration, like fear and despair, and we're just projecting it on to others, and we are actually keeping the same cycle going. Let's see, yes, and also children. I was shown also that now it's almost like just like a light bulb going on and going on and going on and going on. Like this is the way I've been shown the children now. There will be many children that starts having these remembrances. So like, for example, the experience I had yesterday of a deep remembrance in my body. That is sort of a light version of what many kids will be experiencing. And it's so important, is what they're saying right now, to just hold the space for that, and don't make a lot out of it, because it's a very natural thing. It is just like it's supposed to be. So if you notice this in your own child, if you're a parent or any children around you, if they want to talk about it, if they are experiencing something, let them hold the space and let it just be normal. And don't make a whole lot out of it, because they know exactly how to bring this forward, because it is the embodiment that is making or that causes this remembrance to come up, because it's a remembrance in the body. Many children are born into our earth plane now, with this remembrance very active, and there are a lot of children around that has this already, but there will be, it's like I was told yesterday that it was a big shift energetically, and now it has started. That was really the message. And with the children, it will be like light bulbs just going off around. So just really make it normal. If they are, of course, needing some assistance, or they are asking for something specific, then listen to them. But it's so easy as an adult, and with the process that we have been going through ourselves, that we sort of project that onto them, that this is the experience they have, will be as like the same sort of process to integrate and to make sense of and everything, like it was for us. And it won't be. It's a very natural process, and it will happen very organically for a lot of the children. And so really listen into what they're saying. If they don't talk about it, you don't have to bring it up at all. If they have some experiences that they don't understand, or that they are wanting some assistance and guidance to, then give them that, or reach out to people who can assist these children. But they know what they need themselves. So it's really about, it's the same thing as what I talked about in the beginning, right? Honor their sovereign field and honor what they need, and listen to what I say, not project our idea and our perspective of how this is, because that's so easy to do, and project that onto them and read it with the lens, through the lens of what we have experienced and how this would have been for us if we had experienced that at that time, because it is very different. So just staying present and to listen, is really the best advice that are telling me to give you guys that are with children around you. Everything is quickening up, and it will be as we're moving forward now. I'm very curious to see how it will look physically, because it's the energetic patterns that I've been, or that I'm being shown. So it's always interesting to see how it looks when it all unfolds. I'm also guided to do a light language transmission for this embodiment of the higher self and this remembrance, which I thought first that would be in this video, but just as I was sitting down and going to do the video, they told me to do that in a separate video. So that will be either coming out on the YouTube, or I will do a Facebook Live on it. I don't really know. I will just follow the guidance I get on that with the timing, and I will let you guys know if you want to be a part of that. As always, I love hearing your comments, anything you're experiencing, if this resonates, if you have had any sort of activations or remembrances, because the activations are really remembrances like this, and just keep being the light that you are, and keep walking the earth in your light and in your remembrance. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video, and I wish you a beautiful day. Bye bye.